Hello, beautiful diamonds of light. It is your girl, Diamond of Light. And I'm jumping on for a minute because I remember when I was doing my reading yesterday, which I'm not done posting all parts, but um, I might post this as I'm posting it or whatever. But this is basically a channel message that I got. I think it was like a week or so ago. Could have been last week, but I'm gonna try to remember as much as I can. Just try to receive more of the information that comes through. Okay, as I speak. I speak all is well with you all. My day today has been fine. Basically just came out of meditation and everything, and I'm a little hoarse because last night I was doing some, excuse me, clearing, and part of my clearing sometimes is when I'm reading energy or clearing energy from my body. Um, I yell it out as part of it. Like, I have to scream, whether I'm screaming or, speaking in my ancient languages. But powerful, powerful last night. So I'm a little hoarse, but it's okay. It's all for good reasons. But yeah, this channel message was about the planet basically, and the humanity, one upon a time when we was on a certain frequency and vibrations, and while we was on certain frequencies and vibrations and things. So me as us being ethereal beings at one time, right? Light beings. So what I was told or what I was getting, hopefully I can get some more clarity as I'm, you know, recalling this now. Let's start with us, all right? Being ethereal light beings. Now, high vibrational beings, um, as that's actually exists, that can be seen. All right. Um, I won't necessarily say that we didn't feel, but not the way, like the feel to us was different. It was more like, I'm getting like temperature. Like we have body temperatures now, right? But the temperatures was more, I want to say hotter. If you want to say it was like, because it was light beings. We could touch and feel each other energetically. All right. Um, we were light beings. It's a movie that they given me. I forgot the name. It's an old movie where these light beings end up that was really light beings, but they end up becoming like be able to blend in and be the height amongst humanity. They had to take on vessels. But there was originally light beings. That's like what we are. But so original forms of light beings back what you call the Lemurians. Now, how some of us light beings got trapped or had to keep reincarnating on this planet. And while we came to this planet, what we consider Kai, Earth, or whatever, as light beings at a point in time. Anyway, now mind you, the planet was not the planet is a being too. So the planet was also a light being. It was also of the light. So what they gave me about the planet, as we were light beings, right? Um, but very much had forms. We was not formless. We had forms. We could be made out. Um, from what I'm perceiving now, we had different. We all radiated like bright lights, but our lights could change. Um, I guess to show your mood. All right, not even. I guess you could say mood, emotions, if you want to give that a term. But um, from what I'm picking up now, like we turned different colors of light. You know, what they're giving me is like rainbow, like from bright to um, even some of us was black light. forms. Like you could see us, like what you consider a shadow, right? That's, but it wasn't a shadow. It was just like dark matter, light, like totally dark matter light. And then that's one form of what we can go into, as far as our light spectrum, all the way to bright light like the sun. And then we had different colors that we radiated into, as far as the color of the rainbow, and even other colors that you can only never even imagine, right? Because colors go way far and beyond when you get the mixing and do da 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 da. So this is channel message. This is new information I'm getting, okay? But as ethereal beings, we came to we traveled in our light bodies. We traveled through portals. So, as some may not know, but the sun is a portal. So that's what they want me to get to, talking about the planet Earth. And what they wanted me to talk about is the planet, Kai, Earth, whatever you want to consider calling it, that we're on, was once a ball of light. It was a light being. It was very ethereal. It was kind of like a sun. So as solar beings, that's what we were. Some, energetically we are, but we're here having this experience as physical beings, and I'm gonna get to that point. But as solar beings, we would have to obtain solar energy to go to solar planets. There was light frequencies. So at one point in time, yes, this is an intuitive channel message I'm getting. The planet, you don't have to take my word for it. This is just what I was given. Was once a sun, a dwarf sun, but it was a sun. Neither the same, neither the less. So, of course, suns have its cycles, right? And people will say that the earth is not all the way around, that it's hollow, like, the whole, if you don't know, like, how the planets collided and all this other stuff until the belt was put in place, and, now the solar system. But what I'm giving is it was a sun. And what happened to the planet, the reason why it's in pieces, so to speak, some people say the moon is a piece of the planet, some people say, and I'm getting that, yeah, it's like was a piece of the core, is what they're saying. That's why it illuminates like it do. It has its cycles. But I don't want to get into the moon too much because I'm just getting that. But the planet itself was once a dwarf star. So what happens when a star lives a lifespan, like it goes supernova? So what I was given is the planet was once a sentient light solar force, right? A sun, a dwarf sun. And it went supernova, and that's when pieces of itself made a galaxy, maybe another universe or whatever, maybe the solar system, okay? um or parts of the solar system, okay? But what happened is, it was the reason why us as ethereal beings used to like come to the solar planet for like because it was vibrant. It was a vacation, basically. It was like somewhere for us to travel. We ported through here. Um, it was very it was things here. It was life here. In the light form. So we just came here as intelligent beings of light, just to travel, just to travel. If you want to say anything, if you want to give it a name, you could say vacation, right? Exploring. It was great explorers, and we loved coming here as ethereal beings on this planet at one point in time because the frequencies that it held. And it was pretty easy for us to get here through portal traveling. It was like access. It didn't have any ties to it. It was just, you come freely. You meet other solar beings, all right, other light beings, because it was different light beings that came from different sectors of universes and stuff, right? But they was of the light. But it was all different. We had our soul signatures are different. We still had our own consciousness, okay? But we still was one as well. But we had our own individual consciousness. We had our own individual light signatures as well too. So we was able to meet other light beings on this beautiful dwarf star. And what happened when it went supernova, some of us was there, and a part, and what happened is when it went supernova and it blew up or whatever, it started losing, or it's something they want to tell. Hold on, what happened to supernova? Okay, it started losing its light force. Like it's still, like even though it was pieces broke up, I feel like I'm being recorded. I just heard a beep like I'm being recorded, but I'm recording myself anyway, so it don't matter. I'm gonna be posting this on TikTok. Um, it was like it was pieces of the but then again maybe. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. Never mind, y'all. That was just my daughter's game. You know what that beeping was, but like wait a minute now. Hold up. Anywho, hmm, let me get back into this. Okay, what was going on? Okay, so it went supernova and it blew up, and pieces of it was scattered everywhere, right? So although it went supernova and blew up, it still had an aluminum essence to it. It still had light to it. But since it was no more connected to its whole self, the energy and the frequency started changing. Um, Within the whole universe, or within that system or wherever it was at, it made a what is that, catastrophic um event that caused a catastrophic change to the energies and the frequencies. So when a sun, or whether it's a dwarf sun or whatever, even though it's dwarf, it still went supernova, okay? Because its life force over exceeded itself. So it changed the frequencies. All right, it changed the energy field, and things started. The light essence of it started getting dimmer and dimmer. Okay, so maybe some of us was on it, some of us wouldn't like visiting at that time. But I'm getting some of us was, but we was light force, so it was all energy, basically light force energy with light being. So it didn't like it killed us or anything. Like the planet didn't die; it just became more pieces of itself. As it is still life, full of life today. But how did it get to the low vibrational state to where it's physical matter, and we are here as light beings and other entities and beings and deities that are low vibration was able to be a part of the experience here too. Okay, I'm gonna get to that point as I'm got it. The information coming in. All right, bear with me. This might not make no sense at all, but this is just what I was given, and I'm trying to collect it myself. Okay, so as it went supernova and it became pieces of itself, it still had an aluminum essence to it, but because the frequencies and everything had changed from that catastrophic event, the energies changed all around it, and the light force of the pieces of itself started losing its light force. Like it started getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. Mind you, as it exploded, pieces of itself exploded into other, if you want to say galaxies or closer to other suns or whatever. So it's pieces of this sun, all right, that is considered Earth, that dwarf sun that went supernova, right? In a lot of sectors of the because it created a catastrophic event. You know what I'm saying? Black holes and some more stuff, and it's a lot of happened around it. So and it blew up so big to it blew through other and you say portal, it opened up portals, it blew to other sectors of universes and all the other stuff. It just all of its pieces of itself went different places all over. Mind you, this is a huge blow, boom, you know. But this part of what they're giving me is those pieces of themselves had life forms on it, um, energy forms, and everything became different because each piece of itself went to different frequencies and made different. It had different reactions to different energy fields that it was already and went into, and it changed the energy field of the energy of places that was already set. So it made a change, and this goes on all the time. These are events that happen all the time. All right. That's why now too we're in this event that we're in now, and that's what they get me to. This is new energies that we are experiencing. Um, and that's what they talk about the solar flash. All right. And that's what they want me to get to too. But why did us as ethereal light beings, why did the planet become as it is? Okay. It started those pieces of itself, but I'm gonna talk about this piece in general. Blew up, excuse me, confirmation. Blew up closer to another sun, which is the sun that we're in now. Now, it was life, intelligence, and all kind of stuff going on. Because it very well is that be prepared for certain events and stuff had to start over, things had to do, people more traveling. But as I said, different sectors, and it became part of a solar system, this system over here, as we know it today. Now, uh, it started losing its illuminant essence, is what they're telling me. Like the light force of it started getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. No longer was it did it hold any type of light, but it did start getting its light from the sun that it so it still was like a piece of a broken sun, I want to say, that had light to it, but it just started losing its light force. So that's when things started shifting as far as the frequencies and the vibrations of it start dropping. So here go the life forms of the ethereal beings. Mind you, light beings was still coming to visit pieces of the sun. All right, pieces of this planet because it still held life force. Through light beings, it can be new light beings, don't have to be the same ones, but as it still held its aluminum essence for a while, the light beings still experience traveling for experience. Now, it started losing its light force. So the light beings that were here decided to travel here through portal, whatever. Still was able to come through, but they was curious because things started changing, things started looking different, and then some of them, some of us got stuck because now we're changing with the frequency of the planet. Our life force is dimming. You get me? That's how some of the Lemurian beings and light beings got trapped here, living these reincarnated cycles. Been trying to figure out forever how to get back home, but even when so we lived because mind you, we only was radiated by the light and we only fed off light energy. And but our light force started dimming as well, and as like the planet did, it started to materialize into like matter, right? Now, this took a long period of time and a long process, and evolution has taken place over and over again, okay? So that's how the light beings got stuck into reincarnation. Because, mind you, we have to be on a certain frequencies to be able to travel and to be able to be of the light. All right. Even though we hold a soul signature, um, energetically, we still are not our full. We're not our original selves. We're not. We're not in our original form. We're in this um, physical, materialized form. Um, and the more that the piece of the planet or the sun started losing its light force, now more lower beings and entities that was already in that those low frequencies of energy was able to come here and infiltrate other physical things that was becoming materialized on this planet too. So at one point in time, certain entities couldn't come and infiltrate the sun or piece of the sun because it was vibrating too high. But the more it lost its light force, which is a life force, is light force. Other lower entities who was low vibrational that hold a certain energy frequency was able to come and infiltrate or be able to house these material things. All right. um and that's how and then they trapped like and then the light beings, the Lemurians or whatever you want to call the ethereal beings got trapped because we started losing our light force along with the planet and we didn't know how to get back home. We couldn't just leave because the frequencies weren't high enough for us to leave. So we basically been cycling here. Our and forgetting like we the more this planet or the piece of the sun lost its life force, the more we forgot and started forgetting. Now it's experience and cause and clause or whatever. Um, the beautiful thing about it is though is another catastrophic event is going to take place. All right, what they call the solar flash, another supernova event. All right, let me see. Can I? Okay, because we got the angels here. Let's pull out the gateway because they want to do this. Another supernova event is going to take place. Let's see what the gateway. Let's see because I want to speak through the gateways right now. So another super Orion. Okay, so that's the supernova event. Thank you, Spirit. You see, another supernova event. All right, renewal. Another rebirthed by light. Okay, so another supernova event is going to take place where the energies of this sun is raising and it's affecting the energies here. But mind you, it's a flash that's going to take place off of this sun that's going to basically, I guess a supernova event what I'm getting going to take place where it's going to take us back into our light forms. Now we're energetically getting ushered there. All right, the energies from the sun is basically um, altering us anyway and vibrating. These energies are vibrating. So the energy of this sun is starting to affect this planet, was activating its crystalline body codes because it still holds the light codes. All right, it's still light. It's just denser light because it lost its radiant life force because it blew up. Now, the beautiful thing of it is, as the solar flash happened, this supernova event happened, we get to go back into life forms. Because mind you, we energy, we don't die. But those who are too low vibrational, uh, they will be, as the supernova event take place, they will be pulled or ushered into a denser, like they won't be able to be um, embraced by the light. You see what I'm saying? They will be able. They can't insinuate, but it's like their energy will be pulled into like another portal, into a darker hole, or another sense of it, right? Crossroad. No, okay. So let's see what the gateway say. And this is just something I'm channel picked up on. All right, to why how we were once light beings, and I'm like, well, why would the Lemurian light beings travel to a planet like this to get trapped? You know, just questioning things. As being an ethereal solar being, like if I'm a solar being, which I know I am, how did I get stuck in this physical body, living out this experience, reincarnating? It's all by design for experience, but I'm like, why? And it's like they said, this was once a sun. Um, this piece, you know what I'm saying? We're not necessarily from this sun, this solar system, this frequencies. Like we come from different things. Like I say, some of us from the higher realm, some of us are angels, some of us are angelics, but and also a lot of us too, angelics. Like some of our light ethereal families, and they didn't come back. Because, like I said, we would travel, we would travel, and we had consciousness, very intelligent, like beings, and like some people didn't return home. So, um, some of us was in that um, first sector, things blew up, right? So, boom. But some of our people was traveling even after the pieces blew up and it was still illuminated. We were still traveling places, and we came to this sector of this planet, this dwarf light that still was illuminated, but it started losing its life force. So some of the light beings got trapped here because the frequencies started dropping as we was traveling here, and we couldn't come back. All right, we couldn't go back home. So we went out because we knew where a lot of people were, light forces, our soul family, our energetic families would travel to. Like we kept up with that type of stuff. So some of us got stuck here too, for wondering why our light families was not returning home. Like why they should be back by now. So we came here to see what was going on, and we got stuck too. We was able to teleport here or portal here, but the veil or the entrapment or whatever, the frequencies were so low to we couldn't portal back, and we started changing. And we didn't even recognize our own people because our own soul energy, the light beings, because they were no longer radiant. They didn't look like them. So we was looking for our soul family, our energetic families, and that was here, but um they were different. It was coming more materialized. As we started doing it, then we realized what was going on. But so for a while, a lot of our souls, our life families got trapped here. On top of other entities that are low vibrational started coming and infiltrating the realms too. But at first, there was a lot of light beings that got trapped here that was here. So it was still all high vibrational, that just ate plant. But when we started having to eat, we didn't eat at first. Then we started eating because we started, the consciousness started dropping it. No. And then there go the lower beings as the illumination of the piece of the sun, or what is the planet now, started dropping its vibration. More lower entities was infiltrating, that was doing more, coming and infiltrating and controlling and doing all kind of things. Because not only the infiltration was more of like the species or the evolution that took place from the of the things that were here started shifting, materializing, and making different things, species here, and other things would come and infiltrate more and more of the intelligent species. And you know, even animals how they was able to be upright, and like this goes deep. And in the physical, and this experiments took place trying to figure out how to get back home, and then like infiltration took place. The more things that was created, the more things that was um evolution that was taking place, the more things that were getting hijacked, and so on, so on, so on. And it just became a cycle. Now, like I say, some of us who are high vibrational beings, light beings, was coming to rescue or coming to see what's going on. We got stuck here too. And then after so long, we started figuring it out. Like, so some of our soul families, we didn't travel anymore. We started finding other means to figure out what's going on. And now we understood that we had to wait it out. We started realizing that we had to wait till another catastrophic event, something supernova took in place, and we knew that it was going to take a long, long time. But we knew that energy doesn't die, so energy don't die. So we kept reincarnating until a point in time. But we are starting to go back into, we getting our memories back. We're starting to go back into, slowly ushering into our crystalline bodies, to where we're going to become ethereal beings again. But that's going to happen with the solar flash. And the ones that are low vibrational are going to be pulled. They're not going to be able to when things go supernova, they won't be able to be in the life force or be ethereal. They're just going to be pulled into a low vibrational sector, because that's what's going to happen. Like, whether they're going to go pulled through the waters, I don't know. And then a lot of their energies, if they pass away as this event is taking place, or the energies are rising, they're going to reincarnate in other sectors that are low vibrational, because the energy signature here is raising from this solar energy. All right, so those who only will be coming to reincarnate back will be reincarnating back, you know what I'm saying, until the event happen as we pass on. But some of us will be living longer, because we're moving into higher consciousness to be able to make these vehicles last longer and live longer as they once did as well too. But it's a long event taking place before the supernova. The supernova is going to happen, but not no time soon. It's also ways out. You know what I'm saying? But this is just what I'm getting. But when we so the souls that would be reincarnating back on this piece of what used to be a sun, as the frequencies are rising on it, would be only higher vibrational, higher consciousness, higher frequency souls. So when the supernova event take place, we can go back into our original life forms and go back home and travel again like we used to. So right now we've been trapped. We've been stuck here. We've been stuck here. We've been stuck here. We've been able to communicate more with different things in the spiritual realms. Also, it's been all of experience, and it's still so much unknown and unlearned that's coming online, that we're remembering through the DNA coding. All right, of remembering what things happened and what took place. So that's kind of what I'm picking up on, like memories right now. And also what's the probability of what's to come, because it's already happened at the end of the day. And we're connecting with our light families, our soul families, right? That are still very well in the higher realms, because intelligent information, because they knew that they're gonna have to be able to wait for a appointed time for this frequencies to rise, so they can even communicate with us telepathically on a whole nother level. So we're starting to get more and more and more and more, because the cycle is coming to the end. It's coming out again, this Anunnaki light codes. All right. So in the cycles, energy shift. Okay. So this energy shift is taking place, so we can go back to the light forms. You see. All right. So which just say Venezuelan Galactic Council. What that's telling me is going back to our love selves. Right. You're gonna have to be in divine love. All right. Because Venezuelan Venus is the planet of love. Right. And these are just, when you give these planets names or whatever, it's telling you about the consciousness of these parts of your cells, okay? Because you are the universe, mind you. We are light beings originally. We are the universe. We obtain all that is. This is just a fragment of experience. Really, on a universal scale, we're just like a grain of sand, you know. the piece of the land we own itself, the planet itself, what we consider a planet, and then things are even smaller than that, microscopic. So we're microscopic, right? But our energy is very important, though. Everything has a very important role to play. But we originally are light beings, solar beings. So like I say, it's codes coming in, it's an energetic shift taking place, so we can go back to our original forms, and that's only going to be done by divine love. Now, a lot of us are remembering who we are here, okay? Soul state contracts. I mean, soul star activation, because, excuse me, confirmation birth. Soul contracts. We start remembering who we are as a soul, as light beings. All right. Some of us, like I said, we different light beings that came from different sectors, like Anunnakis, Venezuelans, Lemurians. Look, as I said, Lemurians. All right, crystalline beings. All right. So, and I told you the Lemurians came in first. Then I say that as light beings, Lemurian light beings came in first, and we started becoming more dense. So we went from light. This is what happened. We went from this to crystalline. We was crystals. We became more crystallized. We weren't just physical like this yet. We became crystal beings. So we went from light beings and then became crystal beings. You understand? Then we started, this as the frequency started dropping, as the piece of the dwarf of the sun, which is a piece of this planet, all right, which we consider Earth, Kai, whatever, started dropping. But it's parts of it that still hold its crystals, right? That's why we're able to dig in the earth and find these crystals and all this stuff, because those, it's still, that was that, from that light. That's what, we all have crystals in us too. We have crystals in our brain, we have crystals in us, we have crystals in our DNA, we just can't see it, all right? But they are there very much, all right? Gold too, minerals, all right? So we went from light to divine light loving beings as Lemurians. That's what, that's a term they give us, but just light beings. So to crystalline beings, okay, so that's what we consider ourselves Lemurian. So soul light beings to Lemurian beings, crystalline beings. So as the energy shift taking place, so now we're going back to that. Mind you, now we came to this dense, low vibration material form, and we was able to get infiltrated and da 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 and all kind of crazy stuff. Like, it's deep. So much more I can get from that. But now we're going back to this crystalline. All right, before we hit the supernova and go back to the light forms. But only can do that through divine love. Remember who we are, our soul star activations. That's what's taking place. So we come into the end of this low vibrational science. I'm getting science, like the Anunnaki, right? Were the ones that was in the physical, all right? That's what they're telling me. The ones that was in the physical doing a lot of experiments too, as this, there was already went through some type of event like this, but they learned how to stick with intelligence, and it's, so much coming in. I can't, please. But we coming to the end of a cycle, all right? Because an energetic shift is taking place. Like I say, some of us was Anunnaki like beings too, but we also, some of us were Lemurian. So what I'm getting about the Anunnaki, and the difference between the Anunnaki and the Lemurian was more crystalline as the energy shift took place, which was the first essence of it, and then it went into more of a golden material form, and that's the Anunnaki. It's more golden, like the metal golden beings. All right. And then things just started, as the frequency started dropping, we became more fleshly and da 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 da, and things started changing. So now, as time went on, we came into like, remember when I was saying that even as we became more materialized, like animals and stuff was standing upright, and intelligence and experimenting and obtaining knowledge. And so now we're in these physical forms now. Mind you, the first upright form outside of us being light beings and crystalline beings and golden beings and stuff like that, like minerals and metals and crystals and all that stuff. That's what, and a lot of these energies still exist within the inner earth and travels. Okay, so but I get into that another time. But next was also with those phases was the animals, upright animals, and being able to have intelligence and stuff like that too. All right, um, and that's when the ancient relic of the gods or whatever. All of these was considered gods because they were some of the first originated essences as the devolution. Everything started devolving, although it was still of higher consciousness, intelligence, which we still are to a great extent. A lot of people still receive a lot of conscious light codes, but mind you, as things became more and more dense, more things were infiltrated, and then so more experience was being done, and a lot of us was put to sleep because they didn't want us to realize or remember who we are. But now it's a lot of things being spoken here about the truth of who we are. So now we're coming into our great awakening of our knowledge, our ancient memories, even from the beginning of times, of these different phases of um, cycles that we went through, right? So things are starting to be spoken here. People are starting to realize the divine magic that's within them. Um, then that's when magic, like energy manipulation, and some people will still obtaining like that. They know they have the power to draw that light force, and even in the physical, as we more materialized, was able to use the energy to work with us. We started we was had telepathy, we could fly, we could levitate, even in like these material forms. We could do a lot of teleportation, we could do things like that. But as the frequencies got lower and lower, and people start experimenting on us too, and dumbing down our DNA cycles as well, because people, that's when the other things was infiltrating and wanted more power, control, and that. It's just a whole things that happened. But now the truth is being spoken, and because people are starting to remember, and in order for us to move and usher into going back into our original forms as the divine higher beings that we know that we are, the truth has to come out, because the shift is taking place. A cycle has ended because the frequencies are raising, because the suns, mind you, we have suns that is raising the frequencies here, and it's going to be um something. I don't want to even say it's going to be supernova. I'm just getting because of a new event that's taking place about three suns. Because I got to try to make sure it's actually being all in the same I want to say universe or whatever. I don't want to give it a name, but these suns, okay? So you got the original, you got the second sun, then you see the third sun that I picked up on that is coming into our energy field. And I'm seeing three circles as I close my eyes now. And it's like these three suns is going to be in some type of alignment here. And that's what's causing the frequencies to change. But then something about these suns coming together energetically is going to cause some type of flash here. And boom, okay? That's what I'm getting. So, energetic clearing. Here we go. So a lot of our bodies is feeling like it's going through all kind of phasing right now, because we're clearing out a lot of things. As far as, boy, zap, zap, zap. Like, it's so much being done to us genetically and energetically as we are evolving, shifting. All right. Going back to the stargates, all right? But a lot of people are realizing that as these energy shifts take place, that we were mirroring, I guess we was mirroring the physical realm or the material realm to reflect on existing here. And because we're coming online and we're starting to regain our consciousness and our memories, because the energy shift that's taking place, is getting painful, and we're gonna have to clear out a lot of karmic energy. All right, we're gonna have to clear out our consciousness, the way we think, the way we perceive, the way we move, because we're having to move into these energies gracefully. Now everybody's not going to be able to do because they're not going to be able to reflect things the right way, or they're still looking at their reflection, or they're still trapped in the mirror, or they're still they're hooked on the physical. They don't want to let go of this material world because, mind you, everybody's not going to be able to go into these light forms because there wasn't originally a light soul anyway. There wasn't forms of light. Not saying there weren't forms of light because everything energy, but there wasn't higher frequency beings. Like a lot of us are higher light beings, angelics. Okay, so and they know that they trapped on this material reflection of this material world. All right, and they don't want to go on this new path because they know that they're trying to still find a way to trap this reality here. Like they're still trying to find a way to catch these colors and keep them in this mirror to keep us from having this event, but they're not going to be able to do it. It's beyond what they can even think. Okay, um, but they've been trying to use some type of reflectives. So they're giving me now that these entities or these beings are putting mirrors and stuff in the skies. We can't see them, but they're up there, and what they're doing is trying to bounce um energy back into mirrors. Like they're trying to trap the energy into mirrors, because mind you, mirrors are portals. So what they're trying to do is take these different mirrors, all right, and catch the energy to reflect into the into the other mirror, the other portals, to keep the energy trapped and cycling through the portal so they can't um do for it won't hit the planet, and it won't. They're trying to trap the energy is what they're telling me in these mirrors and these portals. um and they got these mirrors set up a certain type of way so the energies can reflect off each other into another mirror and catch there, instead of us catching the light codes. So what they're trying to do is catch the light codes with these mirror portals to keep us from getting them. But they only doing this with one sun. It worked for a while, but this other, the second sun, especially when the third one, as it still is close, but as it gets closer, they're not going to be able to trap that energy. It's too immense. So this event is still going to take place. All they did maybe is like kind of slowed it down. It supposed to have probably been happening from what I picked up, but they was able to trap the light in this with this mirror magic, or these mirrors in the sky or something. You could catch the reflection of the light codes of the sun or whatever coming in. And that's kind of what the spraying is they giving me. Like it's metals and particles, and it's giving a mirror of flat fact. So it's not hitting the planet, but it's like the light hitting this heavy metals or this material they're spraying is basically capturing it, and it's got it. They got it in different sections of the world, so it can bounce off and go into these mirrors, which that's what they are. That they're spraying in the sky. They're making mirrors. They're making where the sun can reflect off of these into the like the keep from hitting there, going into these men, basically going into the portal so they won't affect. They're trying to stop this. So they've been doing this for a while, and they're gonna try to do it now. But what I'm getting is when the second sun get more vibrant as the energies and frequencies roll, because they can't stop because it's bigger than them. And this third sun get closer, then the boom, it's just gonna insinuate all of it. It's gonna eat it all up. So we're gonna continue to have these energy clearings, but they are trying to trap the light energy to keep us from getting it. But it's nothing they can do about it, right? Because we're gonna have freedom from this. All right. So here we go. We got Akashic stargates. So they're trying to make the stargates. All right. They're trying to make stargates or mirrors to trap the energy. All right. But like I said, they're not going to be able to do it for so long, because you see how this say Akashic records, the light is going to boom get so immense that it's still going to come through, and everybody going to be able to tap into what they need to, or get the energy that they need so they can have freedom here. Okay. And rid the past. Like they're not going to be able to clear old stories. They're not going to be able to keep carrying out this agenda. It's because we're going back to our light forms. Confirmation birth. But that's what like I say, and it's coming from this solar event because we're solar beings. So those are original high vibrational solar beings. So everybody's not solar beings. All right. There's different experiences, different beings that are on certain frequencies, and these low vibrational entities and frequencies, they're trapped in certain realms and they can't go past it. Some of these beings can't go past certain densities because they're vibrating too low and they don't want to change. They don't want to do the work. They could if they was, I guess, choosing to raise their frequency vibration, but they want to control. They like being in control. They like being in the material because it gives them a sense of power and they know how to manipulate it and use it to their advantage. And they like when we reincarnate and forgetting. We used to didn't forget. They learned how to do something. Like I said, they start experimenting on the species and creations here, making new creation, experimenting and altering and playing with the genetics of the material form. All right, the species here to make you forget, to make you dumb you down, you know. And even today, that's why the energy frequency, the music, the sound, the lights, the poisons, like everything, this has been going on for a long time. They've gotten better at it, but it's like don't matter. Like they had their time. The cycle's up. Like the energy is the energy, and I keep saying that you can't stop what this is. And they know it. It don't mean they're not gonna try. Oh, they're trying to figure it out. Like how can we catch this light? How can we stop these light codes? How can we make these stargates, new stargates to catch these light codes and mirror these mirrors, these portals to keep them from activating and changing this? Because they want to hold on to this. You know what I'm saying? But it's bigger than this piece of you know. Um, but you got galactic star beings that's ready to go, you know, because this goes big. This goes from all sectors. So it's a lot of different sectors throughout the universe doing this. Not just this planet. This is going on throughout the universe. This trying to capture these lights because mind you, a lot of darker forces has been controlling not just this planet but this universe or this galaxy, all right? Or this solar system, whatever, for a long time. Because they got it, mind you, it's a solar system set up where they're controlling this system with this sun. But what they didn't foresee is the second sun returning. And don't forget the third sun. All right? That's what they have no reconciliation of. They can't go back far enough of an experience within their well being to know how to come back. That's what they can't stop. That they can't control. They're not going to be able to control anything to do with the second sun as it gets closer. But they're sure trying to figure it out. So, and they already know that they're time up. So, what's the best thing to do? Like anybody else, anything else, if I can't have it, I don't want them to have it either. But regardless, they cannot ruin energy. They cannot ruin the soul. So, what do they try to do? So you can't obtain this event that's going to take place regardless. They're trying to trap your soul by causing you to go and be stay low vibrational, mind you, because if you don't go back into this love essence, all right, in order for you to answer the call as a star beings, in order for you to shine your light, all right, because that's what we got to do. We got to answer this call. If we don't go back to loving ourselves, it's Venezuelan love for self, all right, and being authentic and speaking our truth and remembering who we are and fulfilling our soul contracts by healing and love, they're going to try to keep embracing you, forcing you with fear and all this other stuff. So your frequencies consciously and vibrationally can stay low so they can trap you in their realms because they know that energy doesn't die. So as you go to your crossroads, if you do transform, you want to transform on a high frequency in your high heart, high mind, so you won't get trapped in their mirrors. All right. So when this event take place, you will be free. Because they've been trapping our lights, they've been trapping our light force over and over again. Every time we transform out of this physical and try to go back to what we originated came to, our solar form, to our regular solar essence, our regular life form, to our regular planets or the higher realms, they trap us in these mirrors, cycle us right back here for their agenda. It's getting to they done this done. It's done. Um, so what only way they can keep you trapped now, because they don't have control, they're not going to have control of the stargates anymore. I'm getting these mirrors. It's just bigger than them. So the only way they can keep you trapped now is through fear, and they trying to lower your vibrations. They're trying to alter your DNA, your avatar, and this and that. But what they hadn't learned how to do, and they won't be able to figure out how to do, because the only way they was doing it to bring you back. All right. So those who are vibrating high will be able to go into the original light forms, right? It's like beings, solar beings again. But those who are vibrating low, you can't go there. You'll be trapped, and you'll be having to still rewrite these, like live out these soul contracts, these karmic cycles, and some. So that's the end game for them, because they understand the energy don't die, and they know that they won't be able to continue to be in this sector, in this realm, and this to control this. So they gotta try to go learn something else, go somewhere else. And where they're going, they don't know what's already set up there. It's probably already intelligent, materialized beings or something, and shit, they might turn into the same thing that they did to us is going to happen to them for their karmic cycle lessons. They're going to become slaves and this. They no longer, and they're going to have to just, you know, keep going through their karmic cycles until hopefully even through their lessons they might choose to evolve and heal. I don't know, but that's just what I'm picking up on. All right, but I'm gonna get off here. I really enjoyed this. But yeah, this piece of the earth was once a piece of a dwarf sun that blew up, that was illuminate, lost its energy, light force, and light beings came here and got trapped here as the frequencies lows. Others of us came trying to see where our soul families, our energetic, angelic families were, and we came and we keep coming. Like some of us, you know, kept coming here so we can help usher our families and help them to remember who they are so they can come home. Because if they don't heal, like I say, during this catastrophic event, during the solar flash, if they're not healed, if they're unhealed, if they're not raising their frequencies high enough, they're not going to be able to go. So we're trying to make sure that we stay in alignment through it all. But now the energy is raising, so it's supporting us to be able to wake up more our families, to fulfill our soul contracts, to stay in our high heart, because the energy is now supporting us, because they have no control over it no more. So it's just time. But everybody has free will. Everybody's not going to wake up. Everybody's not going to, all of our soul families, they might not get to come home. But we are here. Some of us came at a point in time. Some of us been back over and over again because we got trapped here. But some of us knew coming here we was going to get trapped until a point in time, but we knew we had to fight through it, you know. And some of us, some of the strongest ones kept coming, and like end up coming in, like chose to. That's why I say some of us did choose to come here. In the beginning, we got trapped here. But some of us chose to come here because we wanted to come here to make sure we could bring our families home that's trapped here. But we had to wait till a point in time and go through these cycles and fight through stuff. And we kept some of us kept reincarnating here, because once we came to come to help awaken our family, you know what I'm saying, as we are doing, and we knew that. We know that these cycles had to take place, but we had to do it along the way, and we was ridiculed, and we had gifts and certain powers and abilities, and that's when they started altering with, you know, the light beings. They started knowing that, oh, this light being coming in through this star being burned through this, and it's like, it's deep, yo. I can channel this stuff all day. But yeah, and it's so much more I want to say, but none of this probably makes any sense. But it's okay. I'm just a channeler, and I love what I do, and I'm gonna get up here because it's been an hour now. But hopefully you get something from this. If it's meant to resonate with you as a light being, you will know. All right, you will know if you are angelic higher realm being. This will resonate somehow, somewhere. All right. Until next time, beautiful diamonds of light. Bye now.